Okay, good morning, class. Today's class discuss about identify physical database requirement. In this topic or in this learning guide is talk about which type of requirements or which type of database system requirements can identify or can gather in preparing our database systems or develop database systems. This topic, this learning guides talk about lots amount of our physical database requirements. And this database requirements have it's lots amount of requirements. Within our requirements can talk about our software requirement and hardware requirement. Which type of software requirements can conclude our developing the database system. And this requirement software within our the database can which type of database management systems use, or in the hardware systems which type of hardware parts can include our the database by networking, by physical structure of databases can conclude. Now talk about the learning guides. These courses have objectives. The objectives of the courses, the student is able to, after the learning of these courses, students will be able to identify the scope of the database. After or before, after preparing the databases, what's the limitation of the database and can fulfill our ranges within our disk space, RAM or CPU processing units. By scopes can estimate or can prepare our futurity plans. Second, how to use and configure database management systems. How, by what means can use or configure the database management system softwares, which type of operating systems can compatible in the database or in the machine. Identify database requirements. In the database requirements have, for example, our system software requirements. System software requirements has an operating system. Which type of operating system is compatible to database management system softwares. Develop security systems. Security requirements. These security requirements, which type of security requirements can fulfill or can use or can secure in the database. How to take client feedback and approval by using of clients after preparation or after implementation the physical database requirements can gather or can take or the client's feedback in the systems. Now, since to the learning guide one, identifying database scopes. Scope means for the future by limitations or by size or by processing or by another systems, how or which can fulfill in the future. When the features go for 1 year or 6 months or lots of or short or long period of time, what is the limitation of the database and how to fulfill or how to add that the futurity platforms of the database systems. In this scope is, it is the range of ones, perceptions, thoughts or actions. A good database is one that is simple to understand and well planned. Only it's a good database. It's now or it is let us to one is that is simple. It's one is understand and well planned database. Next one is the scope of good database designs. Scope means for the feature which limitations how to fulfill, or it's a range of persons, or it's a range for actions, opinions, or feelings. Easy to locate the database. It's a good database. Has one reason it's good to locate the database. The administrator or the users simply or easily locates or access that data. No redundant data because of this. In case of storage devices, redundancy is it's not or remove or its repetition is no in the database systems. More security, it's illegal, protect for illegal or unauthorized persons. Table references like primary keys and foreign keys. It is easily to manage or easily to design the database can conclude. And this four ideas: review system architecture and user requirements. Which type of user requirement is best for our or developing or configuring database system requirements. Operating system can have one requirement. Operating system is a set of programs that manage computer hardware and various resources installed on it. Manage which resources installed or uninstalled, or compatible or not compatible. How which resources can control that operating systems in the machine. You have to check the operating system loaded on your the machine, whether it is compatible with the database management system or when to install or which type of database system software is installed on it, that machine, which type of database management system software is compatible or not in the machine. Next one is database management system softwares. Any types of softwares is, can write simply or can use simply in the learning or in the teaching methods or in organization development of database systems. The database management system is the software that uses mostly the users can create, delete, modify, update, or some data within the table, some data in the table. And this topic is in this database management systems. This topic, the database management system is software that enables users to define, create, and maintain the database. In the database, users simply define any issues, any database creations by creating, by using allow or enable users to create database tables and maintain. Some errors can occur in the database systems. The user simply can maintain that database. Provides control access to the database in the database systems. After creation, after defining, and after maintaining the database, it's control access to the database. Can manage or can easily access, can control that database. Interacts with the users, application programs, and the database itself. In this database management system softwares, interact or interconnection of users and machines to face-to-face interaction itself in that database itself. Allows users to insert values, retrieve it when needed, update, modify it when necessary, and delete it if not required from the database. In this topics can the users can allow or can enable users and simply insert values to the table, retrieve or show table data, simply update or modify in the databases or when it's necessary. Workers can do or can achieve the work simply in the database systems. Each database application have its always specific strengths and weakness. Yeah, in the database systems, all of database software it's not best or it's not comfort in all users or technicians. It's the awareness, specific strengths and weaknesses. Some of the common database application includes the first one is Microsoft Access have one common nowadays. It's a common database application programs. Second one is Microsoft Structured Query Language or SQL. Oracle and Informix, MySQL have. It is the common database application programs nowadays. LO2 identifying database requirements, reviewing technical specifications. In the first LOS, it's identifying the scope of the data. Talk about identify the scope of the database in learning guide to identify database requirements, which this requirements by can create or can identify such type of technical specifications are typically written by computer department staff or that answers. In the case of computer department staffs, and this which technical issues or specifications only written by experts of IT. Specifications questions such as what are the hardware and software requirements to run this system, and this by which type of or in the database configuration or identifying their requirements. The technicians or another clients it ask a question: what is the hardware and software requirements to run this system? Second, what is the compatible operating system for the selected database management systems? And how many tables are included in the database and how are they related? And how are they describe the file structures for each tables. Identifying database tables and relationships in these technical specifications, which type of entities can use in the database. What is entity? It is a thing in a real world. An object with a physical existence or an object with a conceptual existence. Persons, for example, persons, employees, cars, books, house, employees are examples of object with physical existences. In this physical existence, objects can touch or can see. The persons or in the technicians can creating or can identify such requirements. A project is hours, payment is, department is an example of objectives are conceptual existences. Conceptual existence. Entity can be rules. Entities can have rules, events, tangible things, or concepts. Each entity must have its way to identify that distinguish it from every other entity is called under or unique identifiers. Example: each student have a unique ID that distinguishes one from others, or identify in student to student by using of by identifying simply by unique ID identifiers. It distinguishes some from others. General in database terms, entity is a table which is responsible for storing records in the database. In our diagram, entity represented by a rectangle shape. It's only an entity relationship diagrams. Draw simply rectangle shape. The entity name within writes the rectangle shapes only capital letter. Enough for today's class. You have any question? You can ask me. Thanks for watching this video.